Hollow Knight, a Metroidvania action-adventure game developed by Team Cherry. It is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, with stunning visuals and an incredible soundtrack. It really is one of the best, if not the best game I've ever played. With the magnificent world building, engaging exploration, intense boss fights, and challenging platforming, there was no surprise when I fell in love with this game, as well as literally everybody else screaming for Silksong. And for the longest time, I was just an average Hollow Knight player, enjoying the game for the first time. But then, recently, this happened. Let's go! We did it! We did it! Where I beat the game in 40 minutes. This video is to show how I got to this position and how you, the viewer, can do this yourself. This is my journey speedrunning Hollow Knight. If you have any other questions or need any other help with speedrunning, come down to my Twitch where I stream and I'd be happy to help you out. And if you're ever confused on where to go, I have the full run uploaded so you can see exactly what I do and where I go. Now, although there are many types of speedruns in Hollow Knight, I'll be focusing on the main one, 80%, where your aim is to simply beat the game as fast as possible. To achieve this, you must first acquire some mandatory key items, then defeat all 3 Dreamers, and then finally defeat the Hollow Knight. So first, let's take a look at the route we will be taking to the run. First of all, the first item we need to progress through the game is the Vengeful Spirit. This is a long-range, powerful spell, which uses up something called Soul. Soul is gained from hitting enemies, and is used to cast these spells as well as to heal. This is the first mandatory item in the game, as it allows us to defeat this enemy named an Elder Boulder. The Vengeful Spirit also deals 20 damage, compared to the measly 5 of our default Nail, making this our main source of damage for the run. Once we gain this ability, we head into Green Path to acquire the Mothwing Cloak, which is a dash ability and the second mandatory item of the run. Once we have this, we unlock the Fungal Wastes where we can retrieve the Mantis Claw, which is the wall jump and arguably the most important movement ability. Finally, we need the Dream Nail, which enables us to kill the 3 Dreamers. On the way to get there, we get the Crossroads Stag for later, we buy the Shaman Stone Charm to increase our Vengeful Spirit damage from 20 to 33, as well as going to save Sly to unlock his shop for later. Once all of that is achieved, we can move towards collecting the 3 Dreamers. We now get into the City of Tears, where we collect most of our money or Geo for the run, through the Gorgeous Husk and some relics. Here, we defeat the Watcher Knights and collect the first Dreamer, Lurian. We head down to sell our relics to Lem before buying the King's Stag Station to get to Sly's shop, where we now have enough money to buy the Lumafly Lantern. This is an important item, as it is one of the 2 ways into the Crystal Peak, the area we now go to get the Crystal Heart, a super dash, which is required to access the Teacher's Archives. We get into the Crystal Peaks through the Stag Station we got earlier, and make our way through until we reach the Crystal Heart. Next, we enter the Fog Canyon, entering the Teacher's Archives where we defeat the boss Umu and collect Monomon. Next, we make our way into Deep Nest and traverse through the Beast's Den to collect the final of the 3 Dreamers, Hera. Now we make our way back to the Temple of the Black Egg in the beginning of the game, through one final Stag Station, and defeat the final boss, the Hollow Knight, to complete the run. Okay, so first of all, I open the menu here, get early control of the night, and do a quick inventory drop to avoid the hardfall. I get the attention here of this Vengefly to puggle up, and then I do a small mini hop here to avoid the hardfall here as well. Then I jump down towards Dirtmouth. You actually want to jump in Dirtmouth as the walking speed is reduced. do a small inventory drop here down to the Aspid arena. So for this first Aspid, try and pogo them down into that bottom platform and try and get the double spike kill when they spawn in. I kind of mess it up here though, so that's fine. And try and get about 14 geo here as well. Just skip the false knight fight, you don't need to do it, and just head towards Ancestral Mound. I have the language here in Chinese as it's way faster to scroll through text. And once we get over to this boulder over here, shoot your fireballs in pairs so you only activate the animation once of him taking damage. And we go up in this room, try and collect as much soul as possible as we need it going into green path. First of all, so we can kill this boulder, just go just off screen to fire the fireball, hits the boulder 4 times and do a small fireball skip here. Another major one here, and one final one to get up here. Then with this Moss Knight, you can take it out with just 3 fireballs and a nail hit, pretty easy. And similar thing with Vengefly King, couple more fireballs and nail hits though. Kind of mess it up here though, and the geo flies everywhere. And then you can just go beat up Hornet and get the Mothling Cloak. Once you've done that, you can bench walk back to Ancestral Mound, where you can then head into the Fungal Wastes. Just head down the Fungal Wastes using a bunch of inventory drops, and we'll go into the Explosion Pogo Room. I just do a small setup here, so I can pogo the orb and the explosion to get up this ledge, not too difficult. And I grab a couple mantises here in preparation for the mantis pogo. I find 3 is a pretty good number. Just get up, that's pretty close, and we get the mantis claw. Do another bench warp to get back. We grab this stag station for later as we head over to Grozmother. I try and get a nice cleanup here, but sadly I do miss 3 of the Gruzzes. Not too big of a problem though. Go over, buy Shaman Stone. Sit at this bench in preparation for the Shade Skip. And we're gonna go save Sly. Then after this, we're gonna go die just to the right of the Grozmother arena, so the shade spawns in the right location. Make sure you equip Shaman Stone, by the way. And we're gonna hit the shade once, so it's 1 hit, and we're just gonna lure it up this wall so we can pogo it. This can be pretty intimidating at first, but it's not too difficult, that shade skip. We hit this lever from underneath the floor, make it a bit more efficient as we head towards Dreamnail. I'm gonna fall off straight away as it engages the platforming section a little earlier, and you can just go through until you reach the Dreamnail. Now I'm gonna open the menu here so we can get early control again. I'm gonna dash out of the Seer room before the waking animation begins. Just fall down real fast, and we're gonna head down into the City of Tears. Gonna grab this relic as I head down towards the King Stag station, and once I reach there, pogo up over the roof and we can get this next relic. Then I'm gonna go kill the Gorgeous Husk, get all of that geo, and then I'm gonna hit this lever so we can get through later. You can just pogo this background object to get up to the Watcher Knight fight without wings. We can hit this lever through the floor to skip a nice section, and I'm just going to heal up at the bench in preparation for the fight. I'm going to break down the chandelier. It removes one of the Watcher Knights from the fight, and you can actually dream nail the Watcher Knights before you engage the fight in the background for soul. And I'm going to take the Watcher Knights out by doing a pretty simple tempo of 3 nail hits as you go over, and then a fireball when they do the swing attack. And you can really tear through the health using this. I kind of mess up a little. But it's honestly not too difficult once you learn it. And try and get double hits when they do that rolling attack, just like right there. Just gonna wall jump up here. It's actually a little faster than using the elevator, and you can get the first streamer. I'm gonna go get this geo chest and this relic that you get after the Watcher Knight's fight as well, and that's most of the geo we need for the run. I'm gonna talk to Lem here so he gets back into his shop, sell all of our relics, and I'm gonna unlock the King Stag station, head back into Dirtmouth so I can buy the Luma Flying Lantern. Then I'm gonna use the Stag station we bought earlier, and I'm gonna head up into the Crystal Peak. Some pretty neat platforming up here. I find it pretty satisfying. But there's not too much to note in terms of the Crystal Peak. I do find there's some nice platforming right at the end here. Do a small fireball in the air so we can stall to do another dash. And I'm obviously going to take the intentional damage tank to get the really nice cycle. I found this pretty intimidating at first, but I highly recommend it. It's honestly really easy and it's much faster. You could just stay in the air for a little second there and you're all good. And just like that, you've got the Crystal Heart. Going to do another bench warp to head back to Dirtmouth, and we're going to head down into the crossroads, heading towards the Fog Canyon. I'm going to cancel the Crystal Dash just before the Gome there, dash away from the Vengefly. And this acid skip is honestly really easy. You can just walk off the ledge, no fancy jumps or anything. And into the Umu fight, you can get a Dream Nail straight away. And my aim here is to try and lure Umu down to this platform down here, and just dodging the attacks in between. And once Umu has reached that platform, we're just going to head up into this middle one, dodge the last attack of the first phase, which there's always 3 by the way, 3 attacks. We can get a Dream Nail as Umu heads up to the middle platform. Could get another one there, but I've already got full soul, it's not necessary. And you're just going to do 2 nail hits and then a fireball, try and get a double hit at the end, which I did, but did kind of mess up the tempo. And your aim for the rest of this fight is to just keep Umu on top of this middle platform, getting Dream Nails where you can and trying to get those double hits and as much damage in as possible until the fight's over and you can get your second Dreamer. Going to head into Fungal Wastes until we reach this collapsed floor into Deep Nest, and we're going to head down until we reach the Hot Spring. Once you reach the Hot Spring, you want to try and keep as much soul and health as possible in preparation for the Beast Den, where we have to fight 2 Devouts. And you need full soul and as much health as possible for both of the Devouts. And we're going to take out the Devouts with a pretty simple technique once you've learned it. I'm just going to unload 3 fireballs here, and then I'm going to wait for the Devout to attack, get a hit in, and walk in to take a singular damage instead of being hit by the attack, just by using a small damage tank. You want to go and replenish soul as you go through Deep Nest, so you can take out this last Devout with full soul and a decent amount of health, so you can tank the damage pretty easily. There you go, get hair off for the last Dreamer. And at this point, hopefully you have 250 Geo, and you can take the last Stag Station back into Dirtmouth, and we can head towards the Black Egg Temple to fight the Hollow Knight. I'm just going to head down once again. You can get a nice Crystal Dash up the top here. And I do have a couple notes for the Hollow Knight fight that I found help quite a lot once you learn them. So first you're going to take out the chains. And so what you're looking for is when he does this dash attack here, you want to try and get a double hit, just like right there. And when he does this attack, I hop over him and you can get a couple free hits. And once he reaches this phase where he starts stabbing himself, you can't do damage when he's stabbing himself. All damage is set to 1. So just try and get soul and heal up when he's doing that. And during this attack, if you're on the left side, there's less projectiles close by, and that means you can get some easy free hits in during that phase. And if you can put all of that together, you can pretty easily take out the Hollow Knight with just a little bit of practice to finish off your run. So that is how I and you can beat Hollow Knight in 40 minutes. Many of the tricks done in the run may look very difficult and you may think you can't do them, but trust me, having gone through the exact same experience, you'll be thoroughly surprised by what you are capable of. Now, of course, I do hate to say it, but speedrunning does require some practice, as all things do, but you don't need a huge amount of playtime in order to speedrun Hollow Knight. I found that even a new player to the game can speedrun if they really want to, especially with there being so many different categories, and with just a small amount of practice, you can easily and consistently lower your times again and again. If you're still watching this video, a huge thank you. This has taken me a lot of time and I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I have a few other videos if you want to check them out, And if you want to talk to me and hang out or ask any questions, go check out my Twitch. See ya.